Welcome folks, 27th October 2019, first club championship heat for the 18 footers on a brightly coloured Sydney Harbour. With me today on a camera cat, James Bury as usual driving and talking a bit. Talk it up, Jimmy.
How are you, Bucko?
Pierce driving the Ronin, Dylan and Mark flying the drone and capturing off the drone, and Michael Chittenden running proceedings. I'm Andrew Buckland, welcome. Today, just a sort of easterly wind, cyclonic winds yesterday. We'll talk about the weather a bit more in a minute. But I think first of all, we have a little video to show you from the recent Australian Sailing Awards, which we did discuss on the commentary last week, discussing just the contribution of Mark Foy to the sport, and Mark Foy instrumental in the commencement of a variety of things, as you'll see from the video, and the foundation of the Sydney Flying Squadron. And we're here with this race conducted from the 18-footer club at Double Bay. But as the troops would note, without Mark Foy and James Giltman, we would not be here today.
Australian Sailing Hall of Fame inductee 2019, Mark Foy. Without any doubt, Mark Foy's legacy makes him one of the most significant historical figures in the sport of sailing in Australia. Mark Foy, 1865 to 1950, was an innovator, a visionary and an early adopter. After jointly managing the successful Mark Foy store in Sydney with his brother Francis since its opening in 1885, Foy turned his attention to changing the way Sydney Harbour looked, both on the water and from the shore. Unimpressed by the conservatism of sailing, in the early 1890s, Foy convened a meeting in the Rainsford's Cambridge Club Hotel in Sydney to establish new rules for open boat racing. These rules, adapted from horse racing, gave boats easily identifiable coloured sails and emblems, and applied handicaps at the race start to ensure a close finish around a triangular course. Foy's intention was to make the race exciting for spectators, and the men were prepared to ignore the established yacht club rules to set up their own competition. The result was the foundation of the Sydney Flying Squadron. The yachting establishment, those owners who raced the larger yachts, did not think much of Foy's endeavours and banned the squadron's boats from the 1892 National Regatta. They claimed that the emblems encouraged gambling and spoiled the aesthetic of the white sails on Sydney Harbour. In response, Foy organised an opposition regatta that he financed himself and advertised as a spectacle which could be enjoyed by all, regardless of their social background. Each Saturday, crowds crammed the shoreline and boarded ferries to support their favourite crews. By the 1920s, the open boats were standardised as 18-footers, with interstate competitions in Western Australia and Queensland. But there was another reason for the popularity. Aboard the ferries, illegal bookies would take bets on the races, on who would finish first, who would capsize, and who would be first around the next mark. Foy championed open boat competition with enthusiasm and substantial financial support. During lengthy business trips to England, Mark Foy boasted to one and all about the great speed and sail of Sydney's big open boats. In 1898, as Commodore of the Yacht Club, he took the 22-footer Irex to England to participate in Australia's first international race. Although he didn't win, the race was a groundbreaking event as the first Australian entrant in an international sailing competition. Ever the entrepreneur, Foy opened the iconic Hydro Majestic Hotel at Medlow Bath in the Blue Mountains, New South Wales in July 1904. The stunning hotel still stands today, a monument to the man whose ambition and legacy is marked on both the waters and the landscapes around Australia. Mark Foy, Australian Sailing Hall of Fame inductee 2019.
So the Mark Foy video, as you would see, commentated by Gordon Bray, but brought to us, enabled for us by Australian Sailing and the Australian National Maritime Museum. Our thanks to those organisations for allowing us to use their footage, but contains some information that I even was unaware of.
Even though you were there back in the day, Bucko.
Well, I was nearly a mate of Mark Foy, not quite. But I didn't realise that the original colours were following the horse racing precedent of, the saddle cloths and the jockey's attire. But all good.
It was very interesting, wasn't it?
No, it was terrific. And very, they were big sail carriers, those boats. So the sail signs, did have enough size that you could identify the boat from a mile or two, which was, pretty much the extent of the harbour. So not bad at all. And to this day, if you stand on Bradley's Head, which is kind of a small part of the beat in the number one course, you can, with your naked eye, if you've got any eyes left, you can still tell who's leading the race at the windward mark, which is 1.5 miles upwind, even with these slightly smaller modern sails. So a great thing. It was a great thing. So Jimmy, today the committee's tried to set a Norris course, but the winds refused to cooperate. What's going on?
Just won't bend a little bit more left for us, which is what we're hoping for. So we're on that lovely course that we've done twice so far this year, and we've only been out twice before.
But pretty good wind, to be fair. It's
good breeze.
It's a good wind. The whole fleet with big rigs and what we call today enough wind that we call it a leaning back day, where the crews aren't crouching at all. They're just at full pressure and just tweaking the rigs to optimise for the average wind speed, more or less. But the easterly course, just a beat up towards Clark from here where we are at the start, to Shark. I'm not saying we are at Clark, the start line near Clark. A nominal corner mark on the run, and then in this direction across to a mark laid on the other side of the harbour. A windward leeward, and then a third beat and a short run to the finish from Shark back down to the finish line laid here near to where the start line is. Jimmy, today we note there's only 4 boats with their front end lineups in place of the top part of the fleet, shall we say. Asco, Finport, Winning Group and Noakes Sailing. So as fans of stability and routine, we'd expect the winner to come from those 4 boats. Who do you like?
Well, I think we're going to really see a boat race between the Winning Group and Finport, and it's going to come down to, I think, those two. And I think probably after the performance the Winning Group put on last week, they'll be able to prove a point this week, Bucko. So leaning slightly towards the Winning Group. Okay,
well done. And I guess, I think pretty much the same, but you just don't know. The substitute bowman, the sponsor in on the bow of the kitchen maker, Caesarstone. Noakes Sailing's been very good and consistent, and they've made a good fist of the 2 handicap races.
They've done well so far, Bucko.
Yeah, but this scratch start does tend to, and that was the 5-minute hooter in the background, does tend to put some different dynamics in the first beat. And historically, we've seen your mate James Doran, Harry Bethwaite and Tim Westwood on the Asco start well and often just not last the distance in this sort of wind.
No, well, you've got to remember, Bucko, Doz's biggest problem is he likes to go, normally in a nor'east, goes right up underneath Bradley's and cools off there quickly.
Well, there's no chance of that happening today. It's an easterly.
We might see the Asco, which I don't think's got any branding on their sails for the viewers at home.
Yeah, they've got some
new
sails.
New
washing, yeah, they've got some new washing up.
So I'm expecting big things of them, and they're quite a good, mature, young team.
That would
4 minutes.
4 minuten.
And, I think young Timmy Westwood coming into that team, Bucko, is going to be a big bonus for them. And, yeah, so I think they'll be in there, if not on definitely one of the podiums for sure today. But just new sales. I know they went out during the week just to have a look at them, and they look pretty good.
There and thereabouts. Okay, so the wind, guys, it's been pretty amazing 48 hours of weather. Good cold front came through here yesterday. The weather model's got that one wrong, and I've got the wind for today wrong as well. The ECMW model, which usually works pretty well for this time of the year. Yesterday we had spiky bits of 40 to 50 on bits of the coast, westerly, and that front roared through, and now the gradients have all moved enough, so we've got a week. It
was white water on the harbour yesterday, Bucko. It was
even experienced blokes were saying it was a bit frisky, yeah. But there wasn't much yachting done. Today, the models had it rotating to the nor'east, so it hasn't happened. A little bit too cool. And yesterday was, it was 30 degrees and 40 knots of wind. It was an extraordinary day. And,
incredible.
Today we've got 20 degrees, I think, and 10 to 12. Pretty nice window for the guys. A different race to the last couple of events.
Yeah.
So the committee's laid a pretty good line. I think it's a little bit short, perhaps, but they're a bit hemmed in by the shipping channel with the start boat where they pretty much had to put it.
Well, we probably need a shorter line, Bucko, to give the guys a bit of intensity at the start. With JJ's, they are coming.
Do you like the sound of breaking carbon, James?
Well, we heard a little bit last week.
Yeah,
I don't have to repair it, so.
No, that's right.
We've got Dylan here. He can do a bit of carbon repairs for us.
Between Dylan and Lindsay Stead, we'll get the job done, won't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
A little bit closed out by these yachts blowing down on us on your side of the boat here, Bucko.
I was going to say, he's lost steerage way, that chap. Oh well, here we are. 2 minutes, inside 2 minutes, and the fleet racking up. Come on, mate, what are you doing? So the tide, just the beginning of the flood, and flooding all day. The beats will be long, and that's one of the reasons why we think Finport might be in with a good show here. They like going upwind in smooth water, and that's what it is. Flood tide, wind and the tide aligned. And the fleet just looking for space, I think, here, really. If you can get out clean and lean back for 3 minutes, you'd probably be in the top 4.
The other one we got back this week's Marcus Ashley-Jones on the Armarine pit water.
Yeah, and that might be their lineup. I don't know. Lewis Brake, Geronimo Harrison. 1 minute.
They were a bit busy tuning the rig when I was trying to have a chat with them to find out.
They certainly mucking around. So Winning Group and Smeg lining up for the pin. Kitchen Maker, Asco and Finport. Finport, as usual, going for the windward end. That's his favourite.
It's easy that way.
Yeah, a bit easy. At 35 seconds, people still fiddling around. Oh, the Noakes Blue coming in from the wrong side. Sure about that.
Well,
Here we go.
Smeg's got a replacement.
Yeah, Tom Palmer in the middle on Smeg.
Yeah, Ricky Bridge on a bit of a clean-up at home, apparently.
About 12 seconds about.
Yep.
Good room at the boat for Finport. Their timing looks good. Winning Group putting the hammer down, going to the leeward end with Smeg. And
looking good
time's
down
up.
there.
Beautiful start.
Yeah, clear
Beautiful start. Finport pretty good at the top. Winning Group and Smeg, and Armarine well at the bottom. Kitchen Maker in row B. Not so happy.
And Ilve in row Z still yet to cross the line.
Yes.
Let's go after him, Bucko.
Well, that was pretty good. The fleet was good there.
Yeah, so you got the interesting one. The two guys that we think are going to be the Form 2 in the race, Finport and Winning Group, both started at opposite ends of the lines, Bucko. So we'll...
Wow, a big fight going on here at the windward end. Finport getting squeezed off by
Asco
and Noakes, both in high slow mode.
And Keegan doesn't like that mode.
Oh, he's got a good high mode.
Winnings is tacked down the bottom, comfortably crossing the fleet.
So, first low bit like the Pommies last night in the rugby, isn't it? First strike, amazing from the winning group.
We're trying to build our audience in New Zealand, Bucko.
Are we? Oh, look, I'm a bit of an All Black fan. I haven't seen them bashed up like that for 50 years.
The winning group quite comfortably crossing the fleet there.
So he's obeyed the rules, led out of the start, leaned back, tacked across the fleet.
You know, they're comfortable in the low hooks there on the winning group, looking real good.
Yeah. The rig actually looks pretty good. The mains, the luff curve looked a bit wobbly. I had a look in the park, it wasn't quite right.
The Royal Oak double bay following him. Out there crossing Finport.
The two boats off the leeward end have done well, and the third boat, Smeg, not so well. But we would think that this left edge will pay, so...
Asco, no, just saved it.
Just sitting on a camera boat. We're now in about 12 knots of wind, so this is getting towards mid-range for the big rig.
You've got the... Yeah, some of the top ends of these puffs probably almost the top of this rig range, yeah, Bucko.
Exactly right.
And Finport started at the boat and going to probably, unfortunately, almost have to take the stern of everyone crossing the fleet except for Vintech here to go all the way over to the left-hand side of the course.
Yeah, I don't think that'll bother him too much in reality. He's got a clean lane at least when he tacks.
Yeah, well, that's what you want there, right?
And the best wind is here, I'm pretty sure. Right where we are with the camera boat, we're at Bradley's head more or less. Oh, and I can see
he's tacking on a nice little puff there.
Yeah,
on the Finport.
He looked like he was sailing with the chip a little bit too soft.
Ease it through the tacks, Bucko.
No, before that. But you'd look at that and say, these guys on the left edge are back in the lead, aren't they? Dalzotto leads.
Absolutely. Dalzotto, Captain Jack.
Captain Jack on the Armourine.
And then just in front of the camera cap, we've got one of the long-time sponsors of the class, the mighty Rag and Famish. They're looking all right here. If they can hold up in this left air here, Bucko.
Yeah, they haven't been great the last two races, but they're looking like they've got their game face on, and they are leading. More wind in the middle of the funnel, Jimmy. How about that? Who would have thought? And
something new.
The guys on the right edge
hurt big time.
Hurting.
But it's interesting that like Dalzotto is probably there. They are just on the right of screen. They just fell out of that pressure, and the Rag and Famish and Armourine Pittwater were able to just stay in that little bit of left air and looking good.
Yeah, and now for all boats, it now starts to get a bit tricky. We're getting now slightly under wind, which hasn't blown down the middle of the harbour, which has come over the land. So quite different conditions over here on the right-hand edge. Less wind and more turbulent.
And the winning group coming back out of Point Piper.
Dalzotto's in front easily, mate.
Yeah.
You didn't put your money on them today.
I should, because the last time Captain Jack won was when I shook his hand in the Ladies' Day last year. And I shook his hand today in the park. I didn't even think about it. Here we are having a laugh. The Armourine Pittwater here.
Come on, mate.
Just right on top of those top three there, or the top three three boats.
The top three, except for the Rag and Famish.
Yeah, no, look on screen we've got the winning group,
it's great.
The Smeg and Noakes, and as you know, Bucko, from the previous 2 weeks coming up in here, it's left or right. There's no right or no.
The left should pay today, but
should.
Should. Look at this bit of puff here.
And what's it going to do to the Armourine, do you think?
He's neutral on direction. It's just a good puff.
Yeah, winning group just dropped into a hole and Smeg just sailed through underneath it. And winning group's a little bit inverted there on screen, a little bit overpowered. So there's a bit of puff skirting down the Point Piper side of the course here. What we might do, Bucko, we might shoot the mighty camera cat down and have a look at the Smeg winning group. That sort of tussle. We've still got, watch them come back for the crossing here. If they're going to push all the way with Finport and Dragon Famish and Armarine, Pittwater. I've got the kitchen maker coming up behind me.
So Dalzotto a couple of lengths in front of Winning Group, but Winning Group second still. Finport and Dragon Famish coming in from the left edge in the hunt. Armarine in the hunt also. Smeg stepping out to the left. Windward Mark. Armarine, so
Armarine and Rag.
oh,
winning group.
Man overboard.
Man overboard.
Become a bit of a regular occurrence.
He used to be a young bloke that sailed at Manly, Bucko, that cut the bottom of his trap hook off because he thought that it was that's what was causing him to not unhook. And then all of a sudden when it blew a little bit and he had to hop out on wire, couldn't understand why he got wet every time. Sort of halved his hook in roundness.
Understood.
I think looking at the winning group, it was a trap line that might have let go there. There's something flapping in the breeze just above.
Yeah, well spotted.
So
it's a bit of that 2 mil Spectre has given up the ghost.
Oh, Bucko, it's as you know, mate, it's the worst feeling in the world. You're sailing along, you're feeling comfortable. Next would have run the impeccable maintenance, or sorry, you didn't. Shackles would have run the impeccable maintenance program on the 7 back in the day. But Dalzotto stepping out nicely in the background there behind Winning. The kitchen maker just about to come into screen from the right here. Just going to be taking the stern of the Winning group. And there's a big pack over to our right. Got yeah, so we'll get Pierce on the camera just to come around to his right, and this is going to be okay. And here we have the Armarine Pittwater, the Smeg, the Finport, the Rag and Famish, and just off their hips is previous 2 weeks winner is Noak Sailing, all in this big group.
Finport's conducted a bit of burglary there because they've steamed along in a good line of wind. Winning group back in the hunt. Finport also probably up into the top 3.
Well, the Winning group, Bucko, with that broken trap line, there's no quick fix to that. No. So, you know, they're going to be hurting on starboard.
They might have enough on board to fix it on the run. Let's see. So Dalzotto leads. Finport second. Winning group third.
I'm going to use this little hole here to get up and catch an eye on the Dalzotto going around the top mark.
Captain Jack might die of stage fright. Give me your thing. Captain Jack might die of stage fright.
No, not at all.
No, he's good for it.
The bravest man.
Quite a bit of wind here at the top mark. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? They're going to do a job set? You think so? Degrees rotated in here. 30 degrees left. Amazing.
And Jack's away, straight set on the Dalzotto, Bucko.
Yeah, I think they might be setting up pretty promptly. Finport behind us, Jones.
Yep. Just trying to... It's got a couple of little learn to sailboats milling around the top mark who are going to get a little bit of stage fright. Winning group around second with Finport closely on their heels. Dalzotto, nice little jibe out. Marine Pittwater next around, closely. Oh, bit of bang crash and we're out of here because they're coming for us, is the Smeg. Did you get all that? Yes, we did.
Bit of knife fighting. Oh, some advice? Some advice.
Some lovely commentary on board there. Kitchen maker with a bit of a wine glass. It's popped out.
He's got that out, but he's got dirty air aplenty. So nothing easy as usual back in the peloton.
No.
Just very hard. And the guys on port here can't jive until the guys behind them jive. And so some guy here, i.e. 4 Pines, got the opportunity to jive in the optimum place. Here he goes. How about that?
Got the appliances online and Noakes having a chat. And the Asco around behind them. The Vintech and Birkenhead Point Marina is next around. And then the mighty Yandu just bearing away at the top mark.
Well, the Asco's done the right thing too, jived early.
A little bit of untidiness on a few of these, Bucko.
Well, you would have thought that 2 races in not too much wind might have got some of the rust out, but as we've noted, there's only, of the top crews, only probably 4 of them with their standard lineups in place for today.
The last 2 boats to be going around the top mark will be Noakes Blue, Vet Heritage, and then Ilve with Pedro at the helm.
What's going on with the spinnaker sheeting on the Asco, James?
Just on the Finport way down in the distance. We're just going to, we'll go one way through the fleet on the camera cat and the drone will come up the other way through the fleet.
So the whole fleet on starboard jibe headed sort of towards North Sydney, and the nominal jibe mark on the leeward edge. So they do have 2 jibes to get to the jibe mark.
We're going to get a little wet here, Bucko, unfortunately, brother. See what I can do. There you go, we're through it. One of Mr. Quigley's. We've just got a seaplane just sitting here off Edwards Beach, ready to, off the Royal Edwards, ready to launch. So just to let Dylan know. So big thing for the viewers at home, what you got to understand is our drones are up in sort of a commercial operating area as far as the Sydney seaplanes go, so got to keep an eye out for them and helicopters and so forth, and there's a fair bit goes on in the back of our boat with the drone operator and spotter keeping an eye out for all that traffic as well as listening for it. Coming along here just alongside the Asco and the picture in picture, and got the drone not far behind us chasing us down. These guys have all got to jibe back into that jibe mark off Clark Island. Bucko.
And I'm thinking, I don't know what's happened here, but been a good puff on this side of the track. The winning group sort of took some risk going through the lead of the island and tried to go to the pack ley line to the mark. They're looking hot, Jones, aren't they?
They're looking hot, and as you said, they might have taken that opportunity to try and fix that broken trap line. That's probably why they were a bit deeper.
You know, we'll find out when they job. I haven't been able to see. We've been camera a little far away. But no, they've got a nice lay into the island, into the jibe mark, so no harm done.
Del Zotto. Captain Jack.
Captain Jack's gone. Finport chasing pretty well though. If you analyse it, Jones, Finport's made up the ground, haven't they?
Absolutely. Like, yeah, you know, just looking on board the winning group, 3 trap lines are back intact, Bucko, so that's what they were doing.
So they've got some repair action while they were on that long starboard jibe. Good work, man. There's
us and the winning group right beside us.
Captain Jack just didn't get the jibe mark right, get the angle right into the jibe. So he's done 2 extra jibes.
He'll be right.
Finport coming in hot.
Finport coming into steal his glory. We've got the Rag and Famish coming in hot as well.
Where is winning group there? And they're setting up to jibe inside the Rag. Good call. Plenty of wind on them.
Going to be I don't think they'll get a chance to carry these chutes all the way across.
So now
Robinson.
a good tight reach to Robinson's Point. Tough work. So Finport's pretty good at this though, Jones, aren't they? Have a look. Keegan got a good feel for where the bow can and cannot be. Your mate Gus in the bow, ringing the neck of the chute.
Gussie and Matty Stenner.
Yeah.
Well, they'd be fresh because they didn't sail yesterday. Well, they would have worked on their arm curls, I think, at the bar maybe, Bucko.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, the wind here in Sydney was such yesterday that almost all yacht racing was cancelled of any description.
These guys will be... The one that seems to be doing the best at this so far, Bucko, is the winning group.
Well, they all look good in this bit, and then as they get across the harbour, the breeze goes forward.
So you see the front of the spinnaker just rolling and rolling and rolling there on the winning group. That's Sammy Newton just trying to dump as much chute, being fair and trying to get it to climb up. But unfortunately, what that does is increase the apparent also, doesn't it, Buggo? And makes you want to go faster.
It's a tough gig. And this leg is about timing the drop correctly so that you go to the bottom mark with full pressure. But looking on the top...
Great shot there from the drone. The winning group there, and you can see him just rolling that spinnaker, the front edge of that spinnaker out, just flapping. Not the back edge, the front edge.
Yeah, the front edge of the sail, the bottom part looks quite good, but the back edge looks pretty ordinary. Anyway.
Just getting Pierce to pan back around and have a look back up at the fleet coming down. It looks absolutely spectacular coming through.
Everybody at full noise, blokes with their muzzles inverted, all sorts of...
And here comes the drop on the winning group.
Finport's drop, Dalzotto's drop.
I think this is the drop zone.
Oh, no risk involved with that, was there? Jesus. And you'd say that the winning group might lead here. Oh no, probably Finport's still going to lead. Finport having a bit of trouble, but the winning group...
Its best angle will attack across the harbour to sailing.
Doing the highest risk manoeuvre they could think of.
So you just on screen there, you got... Who have we got? We've got the Smeg, Asco. Is that the Rag and Famish? Yeah, the Rag and Famish. They're all knocking their spinnakers off, so the reason why they're knocking them off and not near a mark is the wind has slightly gone back around to the left where we were hoping it to go, Bucko, yeah?
Winning group looks a bit early to me, so that Finport will lead, I think. If I could just find the bottom mark, I'd be happier.
I think that's what all these guys are saying on the boat sailing, Bucko, because they don't know where it is and they're dropping and living in hope.
Was it ever the case?
I've found the mark and it's to the right of Robinson's Point there, Bucko.
There you go. So they've laid it a bit short.
Yep, which may bring winning group into this.
Yeah, no, winning group's at full noise. And then he's on a wind. Wow, look at that. Finport's got half the jib inside out there and a big puff down the bottom there. Look at this bit of wind off the shore here, James.
Yep.
Bit of Catabatos from Nielsen from Taronga Zoo. How about that? And the winning group struggling. And a cruising boat in the way here.
The big problem, Bucko, you look over your right shoulder, there's a big green and yellow thing coming through for the back markers.
No problem for the leaders.
No, the leaders are all right, but the back markers, they're going to have a hell of a time.
The winning group going to enliven the day for the cruising boat. Well done.
This cruising boat's just gone, wow, what a beautiful day on Sydney Harbour.
Yeah.
Who are all these people coming to say hello?
Yeah. Dalzotto fighting to prevent buoy room from winning group.
And he just called that he didn't have buoy room, so we'll see what happens.
No, they all compliant, these guys. All good.
And so Finport leads and probably a tie around there for second.
Beautiful work, guys. Dial up and tack. Anybody want a degree of difficulty on that one?
Well, they pulled it off quite well. Next
No.
around is Noakes, our previous 2 weeks winner. Is not that far off the pace here, but I think with this breeze increasing, Bucko, it's playing into Finport's hands somewhat. Their main looks a little bit more settled than the winning groups.
That was an understatement, James.
Bucko, be nice.
We'll give you the understatement of the year award for that one.
So
Oh, fabulous
just
action at the
roll
That's A grade.
Simo,
Yeah, fantastic. So everybody is looking for a lane here because it will be a long port tack. But you do have to get left to some degree. You know, look at Finport though, they're pulled, lifted. So the leader's still in the left-hand air. Still would favour to go as far left as you can, as long as you can get a lane.
and the Smeg coming around, and the Kitchen Maker following them.
Kitchen Maker be wishing they could have the first lap over again, I think.
And the Vintech going to be next around.
Oh.
And yeah, don't be distracted by the boat that's still coming to the mark. That's not in our race. It's a 49. It's one of the Olympic class skiffs. So, got Birkenhead Point Marina. So we're just going to take off up the course and lost sight of Noakes Blue, but I see Ilve just off Garden Island here, Bucko, out the right-hand window.
Yeah.
So, just wondering if Yvette's had a little cooling off period in Sydney Harbour. The appliance is online here on screen, and that's Noakes in the background of them. So Freddie Van Munster.
Tell you what, Dalzotto's still on the podium. He's gone hardest left.
Yeah, he almost went right in there, Bucko, right into the short attack.
You're allowed to visit the white light. Here's where it gets tricky for them though. The next 500 metres is quite difficult.
I've got to make an option here, and I'm going this way because I've got the James Craig coming down, which is classified as a ship, and you have to give it distance.
You wouldn't want to get tangled in those yards, will you, Joe?
The yards.
The yards. Dalzotto's suffering a little bit for a minute in a bit of light air where we are, just on the women's side of the square rigger. Bit of powerboat wash, and then looks like they're back into solid wind in the next little minute or half a minute or less.
A big old square rigger there. That's the mighty James Craig, part of the Sydney Heritage Fleet.
Restored at considerable expense.
And a lot of it, well, all of it from donations, wasn't it, Bucko?
Well, a majority at least, yeah.
Yeah. Just got the Dalzotto, Noakes and...
Jimmy, can we just go down on the little side of the Dalzotto? It's high and slow, aren't they?
And the AOL, Appliance Online, sorry, the Royal Oak Hotel, all there together. And the Finport and Winning Group have just stepped out on this group, so just, you have a look at the little picture that we've got there on the top left for you. It's Bucko just wanted to have a look up the sails and make his comment as a sail maker and a rig tuner.
The Dalzotto foot of the jib's too deep for the wind speed, so somehow they have to try and fix that. Don't need any return at all.
No.
And so we made the comment that they seem to be a little high and slow, just basically a little bit too much side force. Splitting the atom, head of the jib inside out, top of the mainsail close to inverted. So Finport leads and following their familiar path from the first beat, crossed in front there. going to the...
It's a great drone
solid
shot there, Bucko, we got on screen.
Yeah, great, fabulous. Solid.
It's interesting, the winning group's pinned their ears back, Bucko, and going straight for Point Piper.
Alternative method.
Yep.
Yeah, I still think the middle of the harbour pays here, James.
And the tide, what's the tide
Well,
doing,
tide's
Bucko?
now flooded. It's now real. It's quite a lot of flow.
So explain that for the people that don't know at home, Bucko. So full flow is it's coming in, right?
Flow coming in, it's just amping up. Next beat will be more, but you'd see bits a bit over a knot. 1.5, sorry, I think 1.7 metres of rise and fall.
So on screen there, so you're saying that the water's coming from the left to the right of that shot there we got on screen.
Yeah, and the fin port just riding the ferry watch. Oh, fantastic.
Getting a tow across.
Yeah, a bit of a tow. The little red and yellow ferry does a great job covering the fleet, sometimes to the fleet's disadvantage. But you'd think here Finport stepped out on Winning Group. Yep, Winning Group came halfway back and then got dirty air off the Manly ferry, I think.
So the guys here on Finport are waving to the ferry to say, go left. But the problem is poor Rob, the ferry driver, he can't see them out the back too well. He's got little mirrors there that he might be able to see a glance of them, but he's not sure which way they're going to go. But that's our spectator ferry, and it's part of the race course, unlike other boats that, you know, this boat is primarily out here for us, and all the spectators jump on it at 2 o'clock and get out here and get amongst the action.
Yeah, so we now expect the Finport is through the worst of that issue.
You just see him bending there, Bucko, probably off the
yeah.
gas off the ferries.
Yeah, a bit of gas from a couple of sources. Good line of puff coming to them. Not too much between Finport and Winning Group now. Winning Group done slightly better in the last while. But as we noted, the Finport has like this flat water up range, which is a bit of a contradiction, isn't it? Flat water up range, okay. We're happy. Winning Group now probably dead even, I'd say, or very close to dead even. So
different angles.
Finport not looking like they've got their jib trimmed as hard as, quite as solid as they have previously.
So just in the distance there, you got the Winning Group. You can see sliding up, and you got Finport closest to the camera. Just having a little bath here. Sorry, Bucko. Quite interesting. The Finport hasn't lifted at all coming across there, Bucko.
No, I think his setup's not quite right looking at that, but I don't know, but you would have thought Winning Group would have hurt a bit off the big blue powerboat further upwind, but nothing seems to have occurred there. Just have a look at the Finport jib trim, Jimmy, we'll see.
I'm trying to do that and keep the Winning Group in picture. We've just got the drone down getting some new batteries. Plugging it into the power point.
Yeah, okay, so the jib's back into its sort of its normal place. A little lull puff.
They haven't been able to shake the Dalzotto either, Bucko, just off to the right of us. So he's still hanging in there.
That's a good 50 seconds, but anyway, here we are. Winning Group going to lead here.
That'll do, Jack. So I'll get you down there, Bucko, quickly while we're having a look.
Yeah, no, I did get a quick squeeze.
Okay.
But it looks pretty good for the wind speed. It looks about right. So, no.
So got the drone back up there in the sky. Good work, Mark and Dylan down the back of the bus here.
So opportunity a little bit here for Finport. I don't know they're going to lay. No, they're going to have to tack back. So
It's a little shallow on this point, Bucko.
it's not a, yeah. Oh,
Not a great tack.
no.
But these two really stepped out. There is a big pack just behind them, just to the left of screen, but we're getting you inboard on the mighty Finport here.
Well, the peloton fighting each other, killing each other.
And just in the top of screen there, that's the winning group that just tacked on the other side of that spectator boat, and we're just manoeuvring the drone around to give you a heads up.
So winning group. 5 boat length lead to the winning group. Finport second. About 10 boat lengths back to Del Zotto.
So we're going to meander around here, Bucko, for a little bit and just watch the drone. We've got not that far off the top.
Asco looks like they've made a decent fist of the beat, so they've got nearer to the placing that we would have expected them to obtain, but they looked pretty shaky the first lap, didn't they, Jimmy?
Yeah, that mate, everyone looks a little bit shaky. Just starting to wonder, the winning group stepped out to quite a nice little lead there, Bucko. That is the secret, considering Nathan Edwards fell off the Noakes last week. Is that the secret? Got to have someone fall off the boat and then on you go for a win.
I doubt it.
I know it's not a winning formula, but it seems to be working here at the moment.
Well, this will be interesting here. Finport's gone hard left. Sorry, guys, not on screen, but Finport.
Yeah, they're on screen, mate.
Oh, they are. Yeah, of course they are. Yes.
On the big screen.
On the big screen. Oh.
So that's Finport closest to Shark Island there, and you just got winning group just tacking there in front of them.
But Finport in big left and laying the mark, so that margin has just closed up, I suspect. That's better. So
Just moving the furniture around on the camera cat so Bucko can see the TV.
That's right.
So we've got a couple of monitors everywhere on the camera cat, and so winning group comfortably leading there, and they looking at it from here, Bucko, they should lay.
If winning group lays, so does Finport.
Yep.
So that's not a big gap though, is it? That's
No.
I'll tell you in a minute how much that is.
Del Zotto still hanging on there for third. And I'll tell you who's come back up through the fleet on that run was John Winning on the Yandu. He's in this bulk pack that's chasing him.
Well, relatively speaking, the Asco's done best.
Yeah.
They're up to fourth, so.
And you'd sort of expect that from Doz, like, different sales, different sail maker, having to find Vang, Cunningham settings, everything all changes when you change a sail. Like, it could be a couple of millimetres here and there, but it makes a big difference. I wasn't talking about Asco, Bucko was, and they just almost went backwards.
They just had a little.
There's the set on Finport.
So
great drone coverage there.
About 15 seconds the margin, so effectively nothing. So the yacht race. And for once, we've got our predictions roughly right. We just did think that Finport and winning group might be the top two, but it's been an interesting day. The committee has got the course right. Meg's fallen from grace. Oh. Wow.
Just got the drone slowly milking back down with the Finport there. Del Zotto around, Jibe. No, they're going for a straight set. Smeg's going for are we going to have a swim? Aren't we going to have a swim?
Right, not far off. So for the viewers, this is almost a one-legger down to the bottom mark, I think. It's a VMG run.
Del Zotto straight set, interestingly, Bucko.
Yeah.
You'd want to get over on the other hand pretty quick, wouldn't you?
You would.
Next round after Del Zotto was Royal Oak Hotel, then Noakes, and then Asco, Bucko, just for everyone to know.
Yeah, and Asco and Noakes both on starboard job, and a Royal Oak as well. But so for the rest of the race, so that almost lying, at the moment it looks like a VMG run. And so the leaders will do a couple, probably just two jives. And then the beat back up. And then just a short half run down to the finish line. So quite a quick race. Wind speed quite solid. Went missing on the first run, didn't they?
Yeah. Unless they're gone into the Royal Edwards to get the jug of rum and coke.
It's selling old, eh?
Well, it's old, but it's not brand new.
They've got some pressure now. They're definitely soaking. Winning group sort of done a pretty hot full noise. I rather suspect that Finport might lay down here, Jones. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to line those two up so we can get a bit of a feel
Winning
for
group
it.
look like they think they've gone a little too far, and Finport, so they're sailing slightly hotter. Finport's sailing slightly deeper.
Winning group actually look pretty comfy down there, Bucko.
No, he's hot. He's sailing hot.
Yeah?
Yeah. We'll have a look at Finport now. He's into the header from Bradley's Head here. Struggling a bit. But there's the header. Yeah, have a look
There's
at
a
that.
head.
And, Winning Group just covering off to some degree by getting up in line with Finport.
These two have sort of stepped out, and looking back up the course, Bucko, Royal Oak Hotel, I'd say, is in third now. So that little straight set on Jack's boat on the Del Zotto wasn't the right thing to do.
Yeah, didn't need to spend any time on Port Jibe up the top.
No, well, I dare say Jack's now dropped back to 4, 5, 6. So dropped 3 places in just doing that 200, 300 metre little job, and Winning Group creeping up nicely here in front of Finport on screen.
Yeah, so the gap between these two boats is a little less than it probably was at the top mark. Oh, here we go, man, a bit of one.
Done some research, Bucko. They hit the waves fast, we don't get wet. The guys down the back do.
Mark would never fool us.
We put a leash on Mark to keep him on board.
Harness,
Mighty Darwin.
Harness, tethers. So, Jones, we can draw one conclusion. These boats are about the same speed, right?
I think we can draw that conclusion.
And both pretty well sailed in this sort of wind speed. We've got windier, the Finport would tend to be favoured, and we've probably got lighter the Winning Group.
I think the bottom mark, Bucko, looks like it's a fig tree at the Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron there.
Copy. And nobody's laying, so not a VMG run directly. Going to be a drop and into the mark. So Finport's halved, well, no, divided by 3 for the lead that Winning Group had at the top by not doing any port tack at all on the run. And they might end up, the Winning Group lifted now.
So the haves and the have-nots here with the breeze, isn't it? Like when they get hit, they really go bow down, don't they?
No, okay, we're all laying. Cancel any ideas about a jibe. Winning Group into the header from near the white light here.
And the tussle for third between Royal Oak, and this is off screen for the viewers at home. The tussle between Royal Oak, Noakes and Asco is about as tight as these two are, Bucko. So plenty going on back there.
No, the race for third will be pretty good. Race for third will be pretty good. Winning group now, full noise and stretching.
This little trainer boat is just about, there you go, out of the way.
Wow, these guys are pressing hard here.
It's the hard part, isn't it, Bucko, when you're sort of coming down, you're going, oh, we're hot, like get in, lighten off, and then you get hit by the big one, and then it's, you know, low hooks. And
it's a good bit of pressure that got to them there. Let's see, men. Both pretty good drops.
Both very good bowmen in there.
Yep. So then
Can't complain with Sammy Newton, you can't complain with Gussie Williams.
dial up and tack. Who can manage that? And,
And that was just silly.
That was silly.
That was beyond silly from Finport. Just 101 silly.
Yeah, but winning group can't tack.
Now the winning group is caught on the mark from the silliness of that.
But the winning group's not allowed to tack, Johns, in that situation.
Well, they'll clear ahead.
As soon as you start tacking, you lose your rights, don't you?
True, but, you know, Keegan did really jam that mark. He was, you know, in all fairness. But anyway, back to the race. I'm not on a protest committee, and neither are you. I stay out of those rooms. We'll try to.
Yeah.
I do on the camera cat. So who have we got here? We've got Royal Oak going to come around in third. Noakes coming down in fourth with Asco hot on the heels. So what do you think is going to unfold out of this group here, Bucko?
Oh, you'd expect the Asco just to be able to chip away on the beat here, but it's not really a... Oh, no, it's going to favour the left edge again, I think, the beat.
There's
Tidy from those boys.
nice rounding on the Noakes.
Asco not so tidy, but still got around, got the job done.
Timmy's not used to packing a spinnaker, mate. He's...
Oh, the Noakes did the same thing as winning group did.
Maybe there's a new rule we don't know about, Bucko. Marine will not know how yet.
Oh, and the winning it took that pressure on the bowman. Try this. Wow.
Lions online. Freddie Van Munster, we are here and we're turning the corner.
Oh, it's pretty good. They got out of it.
Yeah.
And there's still a chance to get up if they have a good beat. But
Next around, the Rag and Famish. Freddie's having a good old laugh on the appliances online. Next coming down is the Kitchen Maker Caesar Stone with a somewhat of a guest bowman in that one, Bucko.
the check writing bowman, who would have thought? The sponsor in the bow on the Kitchen Maker Caesar Stone today. So unusual circumstances. So, man, looking up, I'd expect the left edge will pay on this beat. So the two boats most left, sort of, more or less, were Finport and more recently Asco. So Asco has paid money and bought the left-hand ticket.
Well, the furthest one right has been the Armarine Pittwater. They're gone into Cremorne Point. Wave their opal card.
Left, James, left.
Left, sorry.
Left, but late, but they're out of the podium, so
Yeah.
I was worrying about the podium to some degree.
Kitchen Maker around with Birkenhead Point Marina. And here comes the Smeg after having somewhat of a swim. A swim, not a swim.
A day they'd prefer not to have, but there we go.
So we'll mosey on up in the mighty Camry Cat and catch up with that lead pack and see how the friendship is continuing between the winning group and the Finport. What do you reckon, Bucko?
Well, you'd think on the winning group they'd go, maybe we couldn't.
I know what they were trying to pull off there was tack and get straight on that board, but you've got to, they've, at the same time, like, all Keegan had to do on the Finport was just a little bit more of a gentlemanly rounding. It was a bit vicious, sticking it in there. But it's one for the viewers at home to discuss on the Facebook page.
Yeah, but
And I'll tell you what we'll do, Bucko. If Jack Andrews listening, we'll get him to adjudicate on it. How's that for a deal? Just over the top of the ASCO, here with the drone, with Dalzotto in the background, and Noakes furthest off screen. Just got the Ilve still coming down under Spinnaker. The ASCO just getting hit by a big bullet there, Bucko. And I have dead set put the kiss of death on Yandu. Bucko, have a look here. Over to your left. They're still coming downhill.
Oh.
I'll get the camera cap back to Woody's place before he gets in. What do you reckon?
Good plan. I think they've been on the riding lever. How about that for an idea?
I think that might be the idea.
Yeah.
So it's getting up behind the ASCO to get Bucko to give his opinion.
Oh well, looks good. Pretty lot of very grunty jib. The mainsail looks great. God, the jib, wow, it's I mean, we've got about 12, perhaps 14 knots of wind here at stages now. It's pretty hard to make a jib that goes down to 5 knots and well in 14 with not all that much head stay control. So what we're seeing here is Doyle's impression, and it's certainly punchy. But the setup looks good. Got the sheeting in the right place.
Okay, I've got a ruling from Jack Andrew come through, and you're right, Bucko. Winning in the wrong, Finport could get tossed for not avoiding collision. So there you go. Thanks, Jack Andrew, the rules guy.
This is quick.
Well, mate, sitting at home watching us, got a beer in hand, I'm sure. So just going down to have a look at the note. Correct.
So the Noakes, a bit lighter crew, a bit more twist, slightly flatter mainsail. Jib at the bottom, jib at the half height, quite deepish, or the 30% height above the deck. A little straighter down low, which is good, I think.
I was reading online during the week, Bucko, that Sean Langman has that many boats, skiffs, different other classes of boats as well. He could open up his own yacht club around there at Noakes.
I thought that was what he was operating there, was a yacht club, wasn't it?
Oh, one more little. And yes, Jack is sitting at home with a beer in hand watching us, Bucko, so.
A bit of 4 pints, is it, or something? So
we might get up and have a look at the winning group and the Finport and the tussle here for the lead and see where that's at. What do you guys think, Bucko?
Yeah. Breeze gone back to the right a bit here. I don't know what's happened. Gotten it cooler and windier somehow. So a little bit of something going on, but it won't affect the race. But Finport in a big, what we'd say, low left, eyes in, big right-hander. and they cross winning group by probably about 4 boat lengths.
Yep. We're just... See how much love's still going on between these two. So there's a Finport just coming on screen.
Well, I'm sure that by the time they get back to the dock, they'll go, oh, well, that was a bit silly, both of them. It's quite close in that Finport above range, fully inverted. Quite a lot of wind in the Dardanelles here.
We're going to have to probably look at getting the drone to cover off the third place, because there's going to be a good tussle for that as well. Another close cross coming here with the Finport and the winning group.
Well,
Finport advantage Finport at this moment.
Well, that was what it was before. Finport crossed them before without right away. So
tried to go through them before.
No, I'm not talking about the bottom mark, mate.
Yeah.
And Finport in a good bit of wind on the left edge now, enough to invert. So probably too much, but here they go. Looks like they've gained by going to that puff, James, to me.
Yeah.
Left hand enough here to make some difference. Tricky bit of water, this.
Trying it. Let's try and line the winning group up. Who's coming back?
Yeah, no, a couple of boat lengths going to Finport there. A little lull and then a pretty solid puff coming to them. They're looking nice and calm though, aren't they, James, really? As aside of running into somebody at the bottom mark. So they gained about a bit more than a boat length there, probably 2 boat lengths. And they're about to have an interview with a small recreational trimaran.
A wetter. Just on the winning group there, I'm just trying to get out of their way. We're a fair way away from them, but just trying to give them all advantage to play in the paddock. They're
interesting that they went back. Great bit of puff where we're out on the camera boat. We're out to the left. Great bit of puff. But winning group may be on the face of that just.
I reckon there's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Lead change, possibly.
But I think the left edge pays to go into the mark, Joe.
Yeah.
So yeah, winning group in front of Finport, not by much. Just the narrowest cross. Oh, the Finport said, you didn't cross, brother. What do you think on screen there, James?
I think a little bit of gamesmanship going on there, but
we can feel the love from here, can we?
I think yes, a bit of tension.
All good. Finport in more wind now than winning group, so all pretty critical. Can he get up to the lay line with just one more tack? It's a key question. He may.
Dueling seaplanes coming in on the other side of Shark Island, which
he's
going
to go to the run aground point here.
Well, let's not hope he runs aground.
No, but you know what I mean. Got the depth sounder on.
The terra firma is coming.
Yeah. That's pretty conservative actually, that one. And he's got more wind and left-handed wind. He's on the lay. Maybe.
Just.
Maybe not. Winning group coming across. Winning group ducking. What's going on here?
Oh, it's like match racing dial-ups here.
A bit of hunting. Wow.
Bit of Sevy influence. What do you reckon?
Well,
I don't think this is the last we're going to hear of these two.
Well, it's a contest. Finport now going, okay, we've got you, brother. Because winning group ducked and tacked, so he's a tack behind, isn't he? Finport too close. So Finport's going to get up around his bow here, James, I think. Finport in the high mode. Yeah. Wow, how about that, eh? Finport can tack, I think.
And it's got a couple of seaplanes coming into land.
Wow, winning group will be wondering about what they were thinking there, eh?
couple of seaplanes racing in the background.
Now, the only error Finport could have made is not go far enough, but they've given themselves a good setup into the mark on that puff. You can tack now. Yep. And he's got room to duck if he has to, but I think he's cleanly in front here. And it'll be a jibe set, yeah. Almost straight to the finish. Big puff on him. Bang going off, and into the back of the bus. Hard work from the winning group. Tack, bear away with from dead stopped.
The bang off.
The windward set on the Finport. Wow.
Winning group.
The winning
Get
group.
up there, Hermie.
Oh, nearly in the top.
Nice work.
Wow.
I'll tell you, these two playing around with each other has allowed Royal Oak to come and really hook on for third.
Yeah.
And there's a tear in the spinnaker on the Finport in the foot bucko.
No, I don't think it's a rip.
Well, it's not a streamer.
Well, I can't see the hole would be the point I was making, but it might be. But it's of no effect. It might even improve it, James. A hole near the clue.
Come on.
I'm telling you. So, Royal Oak 4 points is going to be third, and Asco 4.
Jibe coming up here on the Finport. Nice.
Simo jibe on the winning group, which is all they can do to try to... Oh, the winning group looking very untidy there.
Big Sammy Newton swinging it down.
They just haven't quite got the turn radius right, have they?
Asco in the tide at the top mark for the viewers at home.
Oh, there you go. Plenty of wind here for these guys. An absolute BMG run to get to the line. And both boats on the face of a pretty good puff, so you wouldn't imagine they're bounded by the moorings here. They both have to jibe. They're pretty much simultaneous.
It's a better jibe from the winning
That's
group.
a great
there.
jibe from the winning group. So they've
And Finport cover it off, same reason. And okay, so the little picture-in-picture that we've got up there on the screen for you is the third place, the Royal Oak Double Bay. We're just Royal Oak 4 Pines. 4 Pines.
Wouldn't mind one myself, actually, mate. You got a
4
spare?
Pines.
Oh, that's a good jibe, that one.
Great jibe
So
on the winning group.
They've been learning. Now, I think Finport will go to the lay, so...
Yeah, I
There
think
they
winning group was just throwing something at him. Bucko to bit of hope that they might be able to drag him into a mistake, and your Finport have just jibed to cover it off. So it's pretty comfy like this, Bucko. You want to try and throw a lot of manoeuvres at people to try and make them have a bit of an error and try and play some catch-up.
Yeah, jibe's pretty... Well, that jibe in the winning group was pretty good. It wasn't expensive, but still does cost something. And the Finport might be vaguely overstood here, you know.
Go down and have a look.
They're 9 screens. I think they're going to get there, but they certainly haven't...
Oh, they're comfy, Bucko.
Comfy.
The pin's way down there off the corner of the island.
They're just heading up towards the boat to cover off winning, are they, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, copy. I've got... No, the pin's... Yeah,
Pin's right on the corner of the island.
Right, on the corner of the island. But they were red hot. Red hot.
Still got the picture-in-picture from on board the camera cat of it. Looks like it's getting a little away. It's just from us, and that's Pierce has got his head down and in the box and keeping that in frame for us. That's the third place. Royal Oak 4 Pines Double Bay. There you go, Bucko.
Thank you. So the Finport, one more jibe and they're good to go. There he goes. So Jimmy, the punters had a lot of money on the winning group. did actually suggest to people that Finport might be value at 5 to 1 or something.
And there's our winner for the day, people, the Finport. Keegan, York, Matty Stenter and Gussie Williams.
And they're going to put it in the tide after the finish, not quite. So not a big win, but...
In second place being winning group, John Winning Jr., Savvy Jarvin and Sammy Newton.
Some pretty good knife fighting between the two leaders.
Yeah, and don't want to be there in the park when those two pull up to the beach together, Bucko.
No, they'll help each other lift out. You know how it works.
Oh, yeah. 3 cheers. Hurrah, hurrah. Just getting up here to try and follow third place. Royal Oak, 4 Pines, Double Bay. Great sailing from these guys, Bucko.
Yeah, it's an interesting lineup now, isn't it? Charlie Gundy in the bows probably been a good acquisition, I would suggest.
Great acquisition.
Yeah. Yep. Wow. Aaron's another one that needs to just study the speed of turn in the drive a bit.
The hard part for a lot of them, I think, Bucko, is also the change from when you got not much air to when you got a lot of air. How much little twiddle stick you've got there to play with.
Oh yeah, nobody's saying it's easy.
No, just got the Noakes and appliances on line for a ding-dong battle here.
Wow, it's amazing. Appliances jibe early.
I think it was just more or less to cover Sean off, but I agree with you, Bucko. Coming in hot is the Dalzotto, so it looks like we're doing circle work here. We are.
A good puff.
Florence on line.
Well, that's a pretty good,
Munster.
pretty
Good job.
fourth from those guys. Fifth to Noakes. Water over the deck of the Camera Cat. That wasn't in the brochure, though.
Sorry, brother.
Yeah.
Now we're on Dalzotto coming in hot. Captain Jack coming in super hot.
Still not a bad result for the Dalzotto 6, and they saw the front of the fleet for a long time.
Well done, Dalzotto.
Tim Narborough and Josh Hellman. Oh, dearie me.
And then we've got the Armarine Pitwater coming in hot, hot, hot. And the rag right in behind them. So this little mark on the bottom right of screen, they've got to be on the other side of that. And they're just.
Good luck, brothers and sisters. The rag having a rag.
Well, it's Marcus, isn't it?
Yeah, no, he always...
He was famous for him.
famous for a bit of heat.
There's a famous video going around of you and
Kilo.
good old Kilo chasing down the...
That's right.
Who was that? That was the Asco back in the day.
Oh, that was a big day that day. Wow.
It was huge. And the rag's ragging.
A solid westerly. Oh, the rag's going to look for a bit of windward skate here, are they? Deary me. So I think, James, it's possible to say that most of the boats still to come have been on the riding lever, except perhaps a kitchen maker.
Correct. So I've just heard from Mr. Ed from Manly about that little incident down the bottom, Bucko.
And?
Mind you, they can hit the mark, which makes it difficult with the rule. Keegan went totally over the mark. I reckon they both will be scrubbed from Mr. Ed, so we'll see him later at the place of pace and be in a little bit more discussion about that. What do you reckon? And the Asco, after washing off their new sails, oh, the kitchen maker just off screen, not the way to drop a spinnaker.
No, that doesn't look too tidy, does it?
It's all right, it's the sponsor up the bow.
Sponsors in the bow, exactly.
And got the Birkenhead Point Marina coming in.
wonderful learning experience for all of us, including most of the fleet, James, hasn't it? Great.
Yes.
So, as we've noted, most of these guys have been upside down at some point. Smeg and Vintech kind of, and Ilvi bringing up the trail. Can't see the Yandu yet. So that's going to bring it to an end for us today from Sydney Harbour. Thanks to all the troops on the camera cat. Mighty fine drone work from Dylan and catching from Mark. Mighty good show. Pretty good yacht race. The cream rose to the top. We hope you can join us again in a week's time from Sydney Harbour. Camera cat over and out.